Welcome back. It is time for the next Plan With Me video. This is for the week of February 3rd. February 3rd to the 9th. I've got a few things that I typically do. I'm just going to move this ribbon out of the way. A few things that I typically do every single week, and I'll talk you through it so that you can decide which of the techniques that I tend to use will also work for you and your planning style. So again, I always use these friction highlighters. They're perfect for being able to erase when you make a mistake. See how well that I'll do it with another color later. But the first thing I like to do whenever I get my next week going is I highlight the days or the times that happened in the morning just before I actually go to work, or while I'm at work, but before my duty day starts. And it helps me to know which days, good Lord, why do I keep saying days? Which hours of the day that I can choose to do something else with, those hours that aren't controlled by someone else. Here you'll see I had originally long ago put in for leave because I knew that I would be in and out that day. But later, the appointments that I needed to do got changed only to the afternoon. So all I'm doing right now is erasing the time that I would have been gone in the morning, so that I can make it look more correct. Again, that's the beauty of these erasable highlighters. I really like to block out my time, and it's life doesn't go the way that I plan sometimes, so being able to erase is much better. For whatever reason, I've chosen pink as my patient care hours, so you'll see that I have a bunch of pencil already written in here. Some people will go back over with pen and make their stuff look nice, but my planning tends to be more functional, just so that I don't forget to get certain things done. You'll also see where I'm not super concerned when I don't do it exactly in the lines. Sometimes I try and make it look really pretty, but most of the time all I care about is getting the information down. Anywhere that I know I have a patient care hour, I highlight in pink. And what that tells me is I need to be completely available to that person at that time. You'll see right here, I just had one where I already made a note to myself, there's a meeting and I have to push back this patient. So I'll be calling them first thing Monday morning and trying to get them to see if I can move them later in the day, or maybe just a little bit earlier so they can get their full 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, whatever it is for that particular patient. And again, just getting in all of these pink hours. It helps me to see where my time is going and where I have conflicts. So here, for example, I do have a conflict. One of my kids has an appointment at 14:20, that's military time, for 2:20. I need to be there at that appointment with her, but I do have a conflict with one of these appointments. So what I will do is also see if I can get someone else in the office to cover that one for me. And if I can't, well, then I come up with a different plan. But being able to see all of this out in front of me is really the most important thing for deconflicting any issues that I'll have during the week, and making sure that I'm living up to the responsibilities of both me as a parent, me as a spouse, me as a mother. And a lot of times those do not want to jive together. But somehow it works out. it's funny because a lot of times when I do this, people will, this one, I'm going to highlight it because I actually could not remember if I made that appointment or not, that one for 8:30 in the morning for someone. So for now, I'm going to highlight it and keep it in there as something I need to make sure I plan for. But if not, I will just erase it as the day gets a little bit closer. Whenever I have meetings, I tend to do those in blue, but this one I had in there from before. And depending on what I want to do for the kids' different appointments or other things that we're doing in the afternoons, I'll use one of the purple or the blues. No rhyme or reason to why I do it that way. It's just the way that I said it before. So, karate. And oh, you know what? I just realized. So I'll also kind of block off the half times for the travel time that it takes to get there. So you can see, try to leave at 5:15 so that they're on time for karate. And then by the time we actually make it home, it's usually closer to 6:45, 7 o'clock. So I block off that half time. We have piano for one of the kids on the 4th, but I nearly forgot there's actually another one. At 2:15, there is something that happens at the school for one of the kids. I'm just going to call it Lego because I know what that means. And that will change the traffic pattern of how and when we get the kids picked up. So I need to remember that that's there so that we don't accidentally forget that that's where he's at. And again, I just kind of make this up as I go, things that help me remember what I'm doing and why and when. Sure, let's throw that in there. And I'm gonna make that. I know what it means, and that's all that matters. This weekend is actually shaping up to be not that chaotic. I love that. We'll see. As the week gets closer, it always seems to get a bit worse. I don't actually know what the travel time is going to be on this one yet, but when I do, then I look for that. So another thing, I'm going to make this a meeting actually. We're doing a meeting or a training from 7:30 to 8:30, and then hopefully I'll be able to do this other work thing from 8:30 to 9, or 8:30 to 9:30. So that's the gist of how I use the highlighter to plan out what I need to. I can see when I go back into the weeks, I check off all the things that I got done so that I know that I can kind of keep track of what I got done, what I still need to do,